My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Primal Season 1. Now, this is a show I was really looking forward to based on the premise alone. It's about a caveman who befriends a dinosaur in the prehistoric age, and this show is completely dialogueless. That's something I really respect. We don't get shows like this, ever. It does kind of remind me of that movie that came out a few years ago called Alpha. It's a pretty good, underrated flick. I recommend it, and that's the closest thing to the show that I can think of. It's really one of a kind, and I do respect that. The animation in the show looks really great. The creature design in the show is really impressive, and once again, I do respect the ambition here. I admire the craftsmanship that went into this show, but I didn't like it at all, pretty much. The show is directed by Tarawski, who made the 2002 Star Wars The Clone Wars animated TV show. Not the newer one, but the older one, and that one's actually pretty decent. He also did a TV show called Samurai Jack, which I've never seen, heard great things about. Might check it out one day, but probably not. He also did a few of the Hotel Transylvania movies, and I don't really like those movies at all. So based on what I've seen from him, he's very hit or miss, and this falls into that miss category. And it bums me out, because I really wanted to love this show. I really did. But also, I say this all the time, and I'll say it here. This should have been a movie. This clocks in at just under 4 hours, I believe, and that's far too long. Far too long. If this was a movie, it focuses on this caveman living his life. He encounters a dinosaur, and instead of killing him, he befriends him and gets him across this valley to get him to his family. That could have been a really good story. Not the most original. Yes, there's stuff in there like How to Train Your Dragon and The Croods and Ice Age, and it's a plot we've seen a billion times before, but to approach it like this, dialogue this, and just to focus on the visual storytelling, I do think this could have been a really good movie, but it approaches its story in a very episodic manner, and it just doesn't work. Once you've seen one episode, you've pretty much seen them all. It's a very one-note show. It's very repetitive. And there's just not much plot on display here. It's very typical. This caveman and this dinosaur are going someplace, they encounter some danger, there's a fight scene, and then the episode ends. It's like that for almost every single episode, and the formula just got tiring after a while. And there wasn't much to the characters whatsoever. The dinosaur doesn't have much of a personality besides being a dinosaur, duh. And the caveman doesn't have much of a personality besides being a caveman. So what's going to keep me coming back to this show? The characters? Absolutely not. The plot? Absolutely not. The animation and the premise? Maybe for a little bit, but it definitely overstays its welcome. So what can I recommend about this show? Some people might love this show because of the action and its brutality, and this show is definitely brutal. Like, there's moments where he punches an animal and their guts go flying out. It does not hold back on that whatsoever. But yet, you never feel the impact of it. Not once does that action hold any weight. Not once does that action have any grander purpose. And it's entertaining in brief moments, but the action, just like the rest of the show, overstays its welcome, and it's so excessive throughout to the point where you grow completely numb towards it. I don't really have much else to say about this show. I didn't like it, and I really wanted to. I definitely respect what they're trying to do here. And I appreciate the fact that this is something unlike anything else, that it's ambitious, and this is what TV shows should be doing. But they should also be telling good stories with interesting characters and amazing action sequences, and this show is just lacking all of that. There's no real plot to get really attached to. There's no real characters to get attached to. At no point was I emotionally invested. The action is so excessive to the point where it lacks any sort of emotional weight. The show just, on paper, should have been one of my favorite new shows I've watched. But in execution, I couldn't have been more disappointed. So I'm going to go ahead and give Primal Season 1 a 5 out of 10. Okay, have you seen Primal Season 1? If not, just watch The Croods. But what did you think of Primal? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.